So earlier, I think I've shown you a few examples on list, and let me just quickly create one. Okay. Again, let me call it as nums. In fact, let me write a very simple one. So for I in range 10, right, I want to do print I power 2. Right. So this is simple computing square of each value from 0 to 9. Right. This is what it means, correct? Now I want to store all these values in a list. So what do? I just do not want to just compute the square and display. I also want to store all these values in a list. So what do? Create a list.
Create a list and then append it.
Append. So starting with a blank list and applying the append operation, I'll just keep on creating the list. And this will give me the list. Is this clear to everyone? This code, how is this working? Clear to everyone? Now, list comprehension comes as a more optimized method to do the exact same operation. Right? So I will demonstrate to you how the same operation can be done using list comprehension. And it is just one more way of creating a list. And what I'll do is start with writing a pair of square brackets. Okay. And inside that, I will start copying codes from here, code pieces from here. And just pay attention what exactly am I doing. Okay. So I'm doing the operation, core operation, I to the power 2, copying this. This is one copy and paste I've done. And then I'll copy this line and write it inside the brackets. And that's it. Okay. First compare the output. The lists are exactly same numbers, same order. And like I said earlier, this is one more way, a more optimal way of creating a list with one line of code. First of all, are you convinced it is giving us the same output? It is giving us the same output, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, I also did not write anything new. I just ended up copying some pieces from here and there. First, I copied the core operation, and then I copied this line. And that's it. Now, the differences between this style of writing the for loop and creating a list and this style of writing the for loop and creating a list, what are the differences? Here, I'm using the append method. I'm not using any append method here, correct? Here, I have to define a blank empty list to start with. I didn't have to define any such list like that. Correct? These were multiple lines of code. At least these two lines were, or these three lines were required. Here it is just one line of code. So these are the differences, right? And the way this list comprehension works is, I'll try to write by hand so that it is clear. Whenever you want to write list comprehension style of for loop, what you do is first you use a pair of square brackets because that will give you the list, right? The list that comes out here is because of the pair of brackets that I'm using. So one pair of square brackets, and then you start writing something like this. Basically, you write the operation that you want to perform, and then you write the for loop line for whatever you write, J in collection, except the colon, right? There's no colon below. Colon is here. There is no colon there. So a list comprehension way has only two core components: the core operation, first component, and then the for loop line. And for loop line you anyways write, while writing a for loop, you anyways write that line, correct? So imagine that to be anyways repeated in list comprehension. Right, so let's start doing some practice. Let's write some additional list comprehension codes so we get a better command. If I want to get a list of numbers, let's say 1 to 10, what do I write? I want to get a list of numbers 1 to 10, something like this. So how do I get this output? Using list comprehension. What do I write in square brackets?
I for I ranging 10, we don't have operation, we are just printing them.
Yes. So again, think of the two parts. Operation is populating just I. And then you write the for loop line. Suppose you were to write a simple for loop, how will you write it? For I in range 1 to 11. So this anyways you will write this part. correct? And other than that, just write the operation, which is this, and you'll get the list. Okay, now tell me, how do I generate? Now tell me, how do I generate a list which is, let's say A1, A2, A3, and then so on and so forth. How do I generate something like this? A list of strings. What do I write for this? So let's do one thing. Okay, let's start writing a normal for loop. Can we do that first? Can we write a normal for loop?
Yes, sir.
So how do I
Yes, sir.
write it? And let's say the values are 1 to 5. I want from A1 to A5. Let's define the last value also. So if I want all these 5 values, then I need numbers from 1 to 5, no? Correct?
Yes, sir.
And for that, the normal for loop will be for I in range 1 to 6. Everyone with me or confused? So I'm trying to create a list like this below A1, A2, and all that. All these are strings by using list comprehension. And first, I'm going to write a simple for loop which does the same operation, and then I'll go to list comprehension. For the simple for loop, the first line is this. And in the operation, for each iteration, I will need to do what? If I do a print, then what do I get? Just the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how do I get A also alongside 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Can I do
Sir,
something
take
like
A as a string beside I.
Can I do something like this? So you're saying something like this, is it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But it is not same as what I'm showing below. Also, there's a space in between. Correct? There's a space in between. No? And so far, I have not combined the two. So I need to think of a way to combine the two. And there are two different elements. One is string, one is number. I has integer type. Na? A is a string. So I can try something like this, but this will give an issue because a string and integer cannot be concatenated. But I can definitely convert this integer into a string by using the str function. I'm converting each number into a string, something like this. Okay, and I'll show you separately first. So we'll do something like this. And this gives us the elements A1 to A5. And then now I can, let's say, store it inside a blank list, vals.append. Right, so this is my normal for loop operation. Now looking at this, can you tell me what will I write in list comprehension?
Sir, we can just write the same thing, like operation first and for loop, like same what we have written upside.
Tell me. What do I write for the operation?
Sir, A as a string plus string I and next for loop.
Exactly. And then this. Okay, so slowly and gradually, if you start getting the idea that I need such and such component, then gradually you don't need to write a normal for loop, right? You can straight away get to this line, and that's it.